All right, I'm getting a lot of questions from new people that have been following along, wanting to know if they want to start to try to rent party rental items on Marketplace, if they have to have an LLC and have to have insurance from the beginning, or if it's something that they could just kind of start and put it out there. And then if they start to get business and see it's going to roll into like a full-blown business, then they could get the LLC and insurance. So let's talk about that today. Okay, first and foremost, I am not an attorney. I cannot give legal advice. You would need to consult your own attorney on that one. I will only speak from my experience and kind of what I've learned along the way running businesses for the last 4 years. Okay, so I'm going to always recommend that you start with your LLC and you start with your insurance. Those are just two added layers of protection. The LLC is what's going to protect you and your personal assets from your business in case anyone were to ever sue you for anything business related. As long as you structure your LLC correctly and set up your bank account and all that, that gives you a layer of protection from someone being able to try and take your house from you in a lawsuit related to a business, even a small business. I always think better to be protected. Insurance is along those same lines where insurance is another layer of protection where if somebody gets hurt or something and they decide they want to sue you, that insurance is who they would deal with as opposed to them suing you directly. So I'm always going to say, yes, you should always start with those. I started with both those things before anything else in every business I've done, because I just want to be protected and I never want a bad situation to turn financially devastating for my entire family. So I personally always recommend that. Now, you have to look in your own state and see what is required, whether they require you to have an LLC, some sort of business structure, whether they require insurance, because every state and county is different. So that's going to be the first thing, is to see if they actually require it and what those requirements are. That being said, I know there's a lot of people on Marketplace that just rent stuff out and do not have insurance, do not have an LLC, and they're rolling the dice. And not my business, not my problem. And that's up to you how you set up your own business and how you structure it from the beginning. It is rolling the dice if you do not have insurance or don't have an LLC or some sort of business structure. But again, that's up to you and your own regulations in your county and state. I personally, and pretty much anybody else you're ever going to talk to in business, is going to always recommend that you have those things for that layer of protection. I've done a bunch of videos on establishing an LLC. I've done videos on insurance for businesses like this, so you can go back and check those out or ask any questions you've got here. But for beginners wanting to get started, I will personally always recommend you start with those two things. Again, I'm not an attorney, so you do not have to listen to me. But that's just my 2 cents on my years of experience in the party business. All right, ask me any questions you've got.